never popped a Mari, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Holly. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young Emmett. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge image. To the day they go before they box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply take my route. On my hobby.
West. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Home of the West Coast. The voice of the coach. It's Duse M, the Dime. And I'm right back at it, just like a crack at it. Bang that like button on your way in. Go tell a friend, share it. Y'all in here with the Dime, Duse M. Hey, look, bro, what's the business? You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We got that Cash App down there. Look, bro, Big U says Wack100 worked with the feds. A lawsuit threatened. And we're going to expose CW1. Tonight, get his goofy ass Deuce tonight. Kid the Barber, Damu Kiwe Conversation, Duse M the Down, Megan Davis, Kid the Barber, what up? Biggie Mac, salute. Reg Dog 89, Deuce, what's the deal? Hey, Monte, what up? Megan Davis, Keith McCulley, 5-4, what's good? We back on the Active Chuck Show. You know what I'm saying? We got our page back today, 7-day suspension after them peoples that's working with them peoples told the YouTube peoples that we was over here being rebellious slaves, you know, exposing the house Negro, the Sambos, you know what I'm saying? Amazing Glars, bro, salute. What up, dudes? Kurt Hoodlum, what up, man? We got all the good people here. Man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Without y'all, as you know me, Big Who, 9 Deuce 77th Street told me my brother was a snitch. 77th Street told me my brother was a snitch. Skylight said he CS2 back, interviewed her in the FBI office. Skylight, oh yeah, man, I don't believe her. Blasted, what up, beloved? Dominique Mayweather, what up? Pete Funk and No Funk, what up? Love One, salute. Love One, Lou from the Lou, what up? We got candy. You know what I'm saying? Bang that like button. I don't want to get into it and then everybody miss it. Let me go ahead and start grabbing the content, though. Bro, I've been busy so all day. I was supposed to be recording. I got content for y'all, man. Oh, Crackhead Eddie. We got something for you coming, Crackhead Eddie. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people that you roll with whatever you want. You and I know what's going on. Payback. I knew these bitch niggas from way back. Witness me strapped with Max. Knew I didn't play that. All these old rappers trying to advance. It's all over now. Take it like a man. Looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. Try to play and hate on my shit. You eat a fat dick. Let it be known this how you made mad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we gonna start off free Big U. How about that? Let's start off there. Free Big U. Let's really make them mad. Because it seems as if there's any glimpse of hope that man's gonna get out of prison, that he'll be back out here. It sends these rats into hysteria. They're afraid. You want to know why they're afraid? Not because Big U's a bad person, because he's a just person. And they know what they did. You know what I'm saying? They know what they did. They fight. And you ain't got to believe me. You know what I'm saying? Big U been laid us down with what was going on the day he got arrested. Y'all remember that day? How many of y'all remember the day they raided Big U house and he went live. You know what I'm saying? Let's go into some of these. We're going to start this off the right way. Bang that like button. Hold on. Let's get this going. Oh, this ain't the one, but we'll
This is
play
my
this
last video before I turn myself in.
Hit
with
that
my
like
family.
button.
Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. This shit is all bullcrap. I just need y'all prayers.
We praying for you, Aki.
I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I've elevated my family, come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
It's frustrating. It might be I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all. Go.
Big U. Listen, man. Strong man. Strong man. Family man. Because if he wasn't a family man, he would have just ran. You know what I'm saying? Bang that like button, but that wasn't even the right video. My bad, man. We finna get to it though. Just give me a couple seconds. I just got down here. I had the laptop upstairs, man, talking to all of these venture capitalists and investors. You know what I'm saying? It's MVP time, and I'm not talking about my most valuable player, man. If you know that tech talk and you know that tech walk, you know the dig, we going to go get that bag. A humongous bag. Bang that like button. I talk to dog. So CS2 back is saying that he wants to sue Draws while this man is fighting for his life. His mind is on being Big U. He's always wanted to be Big U. I remember when he was being interviewed and they were like, who is the greatest Crip that ever walked the planet? And he was like, man, I'm going to have to get at the draws. You know what I'm saying? The way he evolved, you know what I'm saying? And he lived to tell the tale and look what he's doing for the community, the positivity and all of that, right? He said all of that. Then when they asked Draws, who is the most known blood, he said Suge, the most influential. Suge. CS2 back, your name don't even come up on there. But look, don't forget, tonight, Rap News Street Politics got it wrong when they exposed CW1. Not Victor 1. Victor 1 is Dale Morrison, Monster, Dale the long tail rat. Tonight, bro, why is it doing that? It keeps showing me the same shit, bro. Damn, that's crazy. I think it's and that makes me dizzy, bro. Man, let me see what's going on. Yeah, man, it's bad reception up here. Let me put this in here. Big U. Yeah, let's go to video. Yeah, that should bring it up now. Can y'all even hear me? This is bad. Paying that like button. We got the content for y'all. Let me get over these technical difficulties, though. This is crazy, bro. This is really crazy. And why is they showing me all of those? Oh, because those is still video. Hit that like button. Matter of fact, I don't want to be up in here boring. Let's hit this music. Just bear with me, man. I don't know why. I don't know why they be going so hard on damn, I don't even have my music up here. This is crazy. Keith McCulley, Sepulveda the Prince. What it do? You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get over here. Oh man, we got the goods. Crackhead Eddie, tomorrow is your day. We waiting on the witness. We gonna have this witness testify against you on live. We waiting on the witness, Crackhead Eddie. I know what you did last summer, Crackhead Eddie. And we got the word. We got the word. So if y'all think that we bluffing, when I say we got the work, bro, we got the work. I can bang that, bro. We just got to make sure, cross all our T's, dot all our I's. We ain't horny for content. You know what I'm saying? So we got to verify the authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Once we verify the authenticity with the interview and who the people is, oh yeah, I told y'all we gonna run them off the internet. They foul, bro. They all come up on here and trying to act and be somebody that they not, instead of just being themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty work. Oh yeah, that's way too high. I was just right there. There it go right there. Big U is not a fugitive. I told y'all I had it. Just give me some time to bang that like button. Give me some time to do it. I don't know. I was not getting no reception. Let's go.
So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house.
And just for those who don't know, Big U got video footage and video security cameras at his house. So they've been trying to get the security camera footage to show 600 running up in the house with the task force, right? They will not turn that back over to the people. But we'll eventually get it because that's their property. Let's go.
He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack, Luce Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this fuck shit. If you have something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told us.
So Wack, you gonna say that you didn't say that you was gonna take them contracts. We got the clips. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna sue him and say that you didn't say coming for them contracts. First we sent the bitch at you. SKG. We coming for your credibility in them contracts. Nigga really want to be Big U, bro. Big U is these niggas' daddy, nigga. Let's go. That's why they talk about him every day.
They didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sitting it around getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they can go on the internet and do what the fuck they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Because I ain't did nothing. This fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my windows. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of shit is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option?
Bang that like
Which one of you fuck niggas in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wack. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate.
That's the play.
That's what the play is. That's what the whole play is. I'm out. I'm gonna send y'all videos to put up all of them until they lock me up.
And
he lose a lot of money sports betting on DraftKings or
conversation. Bang that like button. So let's talk about that real quick. So we got the poll up. Should Big U sue Wack100 for defamation? We got 90. Big Massey Moore, salute. We got 95% of the chat saying, yeah. Let's get these likes up, bro. 95% of the chat saying, yeah. Big U should sue Wack100 for defamation. Zoo Life, salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? That he should sue him for defamation, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? But Wack100 is running around talking about he's going to sue Big U. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. I'm going to take legal action. Let's go to African Bambaata's butt boy, African Bambaata's butt boy, Hassan Campbell. We gonna go ahead and let Hassan Campbell tell you what weird niggas like him think about Big U and Wack100 talking about he gonna sue. You know what I'm saying? This the same one that Wack100 used to let the world know that Big U wasn't fucking with him no more. He leaked it. Let's go.
You already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
What's up to the IG streets, YouTube streets? You know, I always like to come to y'all first about anything I'm doing. I got a tough decision to make.
That means he's trying to get ahead of
Big
something.
U when he turned this.
See, it's always some snitch shit he trying to get ahead of. He don't give a fuck about y'all. He don't give a fuck about himself. So when he said, I always come to tell y'all first, yeah, you come tell them first because you're trying to get ahead and control the narrative. But let's get to the spin machine. Let's go.
Made accusations that Wack100 and 600. He mentioned Luce Cannon, which he may very well be, but Wack100 and 600 was working with the feds to take him down. He said this to the world. My legal team, when it comes to my overall businesses and things that I do, they had some say-so in these matters. So I've been fighting them on what I didn't want to do, which is file anything against Big U for defamation and slander.
Who believed that he didn't want to do that to Big U? He's a greaseball that always wanted to be this low, want to be me ass nigga. A mini me a Suge. Damn, I can't even say he's a mini me a Suge because nigga Suge bust on some niggas, caught a case, stomped niggas out, was in position, put other niggas in position. Wack ain't put nobody in position. Everybody he done business with then left this jump ship, or they stuck over there with him and they doing dirt bad. This nasty work.
Give a World Star in LA media.
Cat, show us your settlement agreement. You keep talking about all this money you got from World Star. As far as we know, when World Star appealed, so what happened, Wack, when we finna, hey, look, $60 cash app tonight. Let me show y'all something. We'll get back to this. Hold on. Let me show y'all something, because we got the channel back. Y'all go, I'm not finna keep paying for this, and then y'all don't even want to hit the like button. So I'm not finna be paying for it. You hear me? So let's stop this real quick, right? Bang that like button. Stop sharing. So I'm gonna go to Gmail, $60 cash app tonight, and then I'll order all of the documents because they want $60 from the court, right? Let me find the court paperwork. $60. And $60, and we could get the whole thing. So check this out, and we'll break down the whole script. They want $60 to get all of the transcripts. You know what I'm saying? The court documents. So this is from the court. Read Jones versus Media Lab IA, civil case information file, the clerk's transcripts and reporter's transcript. So that's from the appellate court and anything that was sent to the appellate court, as well as all of the transcripts from when they were in the regular superior court, civil court. And they said the total for the document is $60. Transcripts must be paid for and procured in person. So then I'm going to need somebody to go out there. Belina! Yeah, I need y'all to go to the court building when we get the $60 cash app. You may also send a service to procure the document. We accept checks and all major credit cards except for American Express. Please bring a USB drive with enough memory as the document will be transferred onto the USB drive. So for us to get that, we need $60 plus the USB drive. The cash app is at the bottom. If y'all want that content, then y'all need to tap in with that cash app. And we're going to get back to the content. So I'll give you the sum of it. So Wack100 had somehow the judge ruled against World Star. World Star is telling Media Lab, who owns World Star, is telling the judge, hey, look, bro, first of all, this nigga's a public figure, which is the standard is less, is higher for him to prove defamation. And then they said also, it's the truth. Truth is under the First Amendment of the Constitution. As members of the press, they're entitled to stand on their truth. That's in the documents. Nigga, is what's the word? Substantially true. The allegations are in there are substantially true. So World Star was saying he's still a rat and that he's trying to utilize his resources to hide that fact and to force them about to bully them into taking down my documentary, Wack100 and the snitch allegations. 4 million views in 3 days. So they call it under the Anti-SLAPP Act, right? Let me see. Maybe I could get ChatGPT to sum it up, because I get to going too deep trying to explain the anti-SLAPP law. So watch this. Okay. What was Media Lab's IA argument versus Cash Jones as it pertains to the anti-SLAPP violations and what happened? So what Wack could have did, and what I believe he did, was he got afraid that he was going to lose that anti-SLAPP ruling, because the judge ruled against Media Lab. Media Lab appealed, so the appellate courts would have got it. And if they would have said, "Nah, this is under the anti-SLAPP," dismissed the case, judge, you got to re-rule it. So here's a clear source summary of what Media Lab AI argued in the Cash M. Jones versus Media Lab AI Inc. case regarding anti-SLAPP under California Code and Civil Procedure, subsection 425.16. And what happened in the motion? The background of the case: plaintiff Cash M. Jones, also known as Wack100, defended Media Lab AI Inc., a Delaware corporation. Case filed July 8, 2024 in LA County Superior Court. Cause of action: defamation, libel, and or slander arising from a YouTube video titled Wack100 Exposed for Being an Alleged Federal Informant documentary, published on World Star Hip Hop's YouTube channel, alleging involvement in criminal conduct that Jones disputes as false and defamatory. What Media Lab argued in its anti-SLAPP motion, Media Lab filed a special motion to strike under California's anti-SLAPP statute, CCP subsection 425.16. In that motion, Media Lab AI argued the complaint arises from protected First Amendment activity. Media Lab's core argument was that the statements at issue, publishing and distributing the video with alleged statements about Jones, were speech in the public forum, YouTube and World Star Hip Hop, tied to matters of public interest and therefore protected by the First Amendment under the anti-SLAPP law. Such speech should be immunized from a defamation suit unless Jones can show he is likely to succeed on the merits. So, nigga, you got to prove that you ain't CS2 back, nigga. Or, nigga, that's the only way that they should be able to take down this video and that he can sue. Prove you ain't CS2 back. So, 2, Communications Decency Act protection. Media Lab AI also contended that even if statements were defamatory, the company is protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which generally shields online platforms from liability for third-party consent published on their sites. 3, Jones is or should be treated as a public figure. Part of Media Lab's argument was that Jones is a public figure whose reputation and activities are already subject to public scrutiny, lowering the threshold for what is considered a public interest matter and making an anti-SLAPP motion appropriate. The anti-SLAPP statute is designed to eliminate lawsuits filed primarily to chill or punish free speech rights by forcing defendants to incur costs to defend meritless claims. If the speech is in connection with a public issue, an anti-SLAPP motion can be used to strike the complaint early unless the plaintiff shows a probability of success on the merits. So exactly what World Star is arguing is what the California anti-SLAPP law means, how the court ruled. The court denied Media Lab anti-SLAPP motion in its tentative ruling on February 24th, 2025. The judge held the statements at issue did not sufficiently qualify as public interest speech. Now, mind you, they got Wack100 on there talking on No Jumper, talking about the documentary, saying, well, say what you want. You can hate me or love me, but I'm a public figure. He admitted he was a public figure, but this judge still ruled in his favor. Media Lab failed to show probability of winning on the merits. They didn't submit any evidence. CDA 230 argument didn't end the case. The bottom line, media's anti-SLAPP argument speech was protected by the First Amendment. CDA, the motion was denied because Media Lab failed to prove the video addressed a public interest issue. And because Jones showed enough evidence that his defamation claims could succeed. In this case, okay, so did Media Lab appeal? So that's what we're waiting for. Let me check and see. Let me see if we got any, if y'all really want to see this content too. Uh-oh. Deion Jones. We just got it. Deion Jones. We got it. So tomorrow, y'all will be getting that content. Dead homies. We got that for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, got that. Got that. Man, listen, hold on. Let me make sure I shout out everybody. Vidal Johnson, got that. Lou from the Lou, got that. Deion Jones, got that. Salute. Tomorrow, we're going to have somebody go to that court and go get that. So let's get back to the content. But tomorrow, we got the content for y'all.
And I won that case. And I got paid. So anybody that talks to this man, communicates with this man. I'm trying my best to keep my legal team from doing what they feel they're obligated to do, because my legal team is also my business partners in a lot of my business, and they feel like in the long run it could affect the business. So we need a statement retracting that. I'm gonna tell you what I need to fight my legal team. If a statement retracting what he said, which he knows is false, there's no claim of proof of. Matter of fact, in federal court, they addressed it and went on the record and said that they've never talked to, dealt with, communicated.
They said they never talked to, dealt with, or nothing. But we just revealed the paperwork that Wack100 himself had an interview with the FBI. So how they saying that they never dealt with him in questioning about Big U? So this is nasty work, bro.
Spoke to with Wack100 and 600 regarding any of these things, in fact, ever, right? I need that retraction. If not, I'm letting y'all know, y'all hearing here first. The man is already up under enough pressure. I'm going to be forced to go at any and everything, catalogs, real estate, whatever he might have any type of possession of ownership of, I'm going to be forced to go at it. Are y'all hearing it first? So anybody know this dude? Y'all talk to him, holler at him. Give me that so I can go back and tell my legal team, listen, he retracted it. Let it be. This is something I don't want to do. But at the end of the day, when I'm at the table of business and I'm dealing with my partners, my word only goes so far. So once again, y'all hearing it here. If I don't see something or can't fight with nothing, probably in the next 10 to 30 days, they're going to go on and do what they're going to do. And when they do it, I'll let y'all know they did it. You know, I ain't got no problem. I ain't hiding nothing, but I'm letting y'all know. So any of y'all got any type of communication with this dude out there, I strongly suggest that you holler at him and let him know what this is and what this ain't. Again, this is something I don't want to do. They've been pressing me to do it for the last 6, 7.
Nigga, you been dying to try to walk a mile in that nigga's shoe. Nigga, you won't make it a block, nigga. Wanna be me ass nigga. This weird ass, bust ass nigga.
right? He know he told a lie and he ain't got a leg to stand on.
He know he told a lie.
The federal government is going to walk up in that civil court and say, we don't know this man. We ain't had no dealings or communication with this man. And at that point, he's done. Because now he has to show where these things have happened, and he can't show that, right? And Lord forbid, 600 tells me, hey, Wack, shit, you getting paid, throw me in there too. Once again, it's his Wack bringing it to y'all. Then sometime next month, if a retraction is not there, I'm going to step back and I'm going to allow my legal team to do what they do. Y'all heard it from me live and direct. We out.
Well, first, we don't even got to hear African Bambaataa butt boy, Thyson Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Bang that like button. We got the good people in here. You know what I'm saying? So first, let me let y'all know this. Some people is just so damn stupid, right? Don't you know fuck his legal team, right? Fake diaper company, lost his studio, what business, right? His handler said, you're exposed, handle that, right? Begging, retract these nuts. Legal team, this nigga on the 64th floor and informant like Wack, they are going to protect. Do what exactly, M? Listen, CS2 said Big U was broke and had nothing. Make it make sense. Clown is a walking contradiction. Right. Angela, Wack has called Big U a rat for 3 years now. But the feds is saying Big U would refuse to work with him through the grid. That's one of his charges. Christopher Jones, he about to get on the stand. That's what it is. He sounds stupid. Man, shut up. They only Wack coerced information, but he didn't help the feds, right? Nah, he did help the feds, bro. Listen, bro, this nigga, first and foremost, well, we gonna get to a video that explain all of that. But hell yeah, he helped the feds. Nigga, he engineered this case. He really a juvenile gangster, but this nigga's so stupid. He don't know he finna force. First, Big U got subpoena power. See, World Star Hip Hop, the Media Lab, knew that Wack100 was going to settle out. And that's probably what they told him. Check this out, nigga. We'd already talked to Lamonte. We talked to Lamonte. And he's prepared to testify that you are CS2 back. We're going to subpoena Mark Stevens. We're going to subpoena Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to subpoena Robert Ross. And all three of those people are going to say you're CS2 back. We're going to subpoena and enter most scandalous Los Angeles interview as evidence, interview with Detective Greg Caden as evidence. And then we're going to play all the audio where you lied about this stuff, where you shot yourself in the foot about it. So when the court, they might just throw it out on this appeal because they appealed to the appellate court. That's the paperwork we finna get. So what you need to do is go ahead and bow out gracefully and run with the narrative that that you won and reached a settlement with Media Lab or World Star. Because if you reach the settlement with Media Lab and World Star, we need to see that word. I have to show you my settlement agreement. What up, Southern Force? I didn't see you down there, bro. I got right to it. Bang that like button. We finna get to this content, though. We finna expose confidential witness number 1 in the Big U case, bro. Rap, man, look, shout out Rap News Street Politics, man. That's one of my, probably the number 1 hood blog with the hood news that I fuck with. They was batting 1,000, but they got wrong. So look, so this nigga is finna this nigga Wack100, he don't know that Big U got every page of the Main Street case. So he been holding that from me because we've been trying to save any more bad looks from other dudes from Main Street. But now, see, CS2, y'all can think, see, Wack said he saved the Main Streets, but right now, he finna throw the Main Streets under the bus because Big U got stacks. If I call Alex Alonso right now, he gonna talk about the day when Big U pulled up on him and put 300 pages on that 300 pages on his truck. And that nigga, Alex Alonso, was like, salute, Southern Force. Alex Alonso was like, hey, Big U, let me just run a Xerox copy of that shit and I'll give it back to you. He said, nah, but you can read it right now. And Alex Alonso started reading. So Alex Alonso knows the exact same context of this information, and that Wack100 was a snitch as far as CS2 back. That was the Deja 34 Main Street Crip and Biggie Smalls murder investigation. Now, when it comes to this, they said the AUSA made a public statement that Christopher Love boys and CS2 back had not talking to the AUSA or their team. But we just exposed the paperwork. Well, in the paperwork, it says that they contacted Wack100 to ask him about the targeted communicators on this case, Big U case. So, first of all, it was suspicious that they felt obligated to defend 600 and Wack100 and say that they never talked to him, but it made it even more worse when the paperwork come out and prove that the AUSA lied in court to protect its informant. That's a fact. I got that. We got $10 super chat from my guy, Panda Man. Salute, Panda Man. Everything given to the Damu Kiwe Conversation is appreciated. Look, man, I go by the old school of thought, and he's definitely dry snitching at his worth. He went from Officer McElroy to trauma, 3 fingers coming with sour emotion. It's not a burn notice as long as he provides. They won't give up an informant who keep viable information coming in. That's why all y'all compromise, even playing with them. Just leave them be. Trav the Savage, you said leave them be. You said we compromise? Nah, my man. We ain't compromised over here. You on the wrong YouTube channel. Talking about somebody compromised. He might be losing his mind. Man, Big U is, man, listen. Rat Tail Dale, line whack up. Hey, bro, I'm starting to believe he did. He falling off. We could definitely see that. Oh, yeah, they want him to testify. If Wack gangster, why he didn't make a move on Big U? Because he ain't a gangster. But that's good. He keep acting like one, so they gonna make him be one. He finna put up and shut up. So let's get to the next video. Right? We got Byron Blake. Proof that Big U, well, that's the last one. We'll go to that one later. Hold on, I think I got one more Byron Blake. We got 2 Byron Blake videos. Weird ass nigga. That nigga be having that content though. You can't hate on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? He a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Real weird. All right. How long is this? Because we could get to the other one. Oh, yeah, we going to get to the other one. This shit is too long, bro. We're not finna do all that. Let's go. Rap news, street politics. Let's get to this then. Fuck it. We're not finna play with y'all. Rap news, street politics said, we gonna get to the meat on the bones. They said who CW1 was. Not Dale Morrison. That's witness one. You know what I'm saying? Exposing a snitch in the Big U indictment. So I think they took the other one down because they knew they got it wrong. But we got it right. If they was batting 1,000 and they was wrong and we got it right, sound like Damu Kiwe Conversations still in that #1 spot. Let's go.
Rap News Street Politics, the
Shout out
best
Rap
hood
News Street
channel on
Politics.
YouTube. And we back with them bad people in this Big U federal indictment. Now, you know, it's a lot of information that's coming out, a lot of individuals speculating as to who's telling, who's snitching, who the witnesses are, and that's where we step in. Now, right now, we got one main individual who's playing some dirty games in this paperwork. Now, as we broke down when we covered this Big U indictment, there's confidential informants, multiple witnesses in multiple areas. And we also have some snitches on the forecast as well. But we're not talking about probabilities in this video. We only gonna talk about facts. So we know there's an individual that they refer to as CW1. They broke down his profile, his case history, and what information he provided. Now,
hold on. So CW1, let's see what they say about CW1, right? Oh, there we go. Damn. Let's go right here.
Talk about facts. So
CW1, the FBI interviewed cooperating witness #1 who told the FBI about one of these check-in incidents. CW1 said that he knew Henley, who was a Rolling 60 member. CW1 also said Henley led a money-making gang that was distinct from Rolling 60s, referring to Big U Enterprise. So this is the guy that they're banking the RICO on. He's the one telling them, look, Big U got the Big U Enterprise. It's not the Rolling 60s. It's a Big U Enterprise. According to CW1, rap artists, athletes, and other individuals needed to pay Henley.
No, there's an individual that they refer to as CW1.
CW1 has a criminal history that includes convictions for possession of sales. Let me write this down for y'all, because we're going to go through the checklist, right? We're going to go through the checklist because they're giving you a description of who this rat is. So CW1 has a conviction for possession of sales of narcotics in 2003 and 2009, right? So he got two different dope cases in violation of California Health and Safety Codes, 11 Trade 50. So 11 Trade 50 is really, I thought that was just possession. Oh, yeah, possession for sales too. So, and then the 11 Trade 51. Yeah, okay, so he got both of them. 11 Trade 50, 11 Trade, and 11 Trade 51, right? So that's possession and possession for sales, respectfully. That's one clue. The second clue was he also has a shooting in an inhabited dwelling, right? So he got the busing at somebody's house, at inhabited dwelling. Okay, and that was in 2003, right? 2003, shooting in an inhabited dwelling in violation of PC Section 246. PC Section 246. So that's the second clue, right? CW1 received cooperation credit from the Central District of California as sentencing in a prior drug conspiracy case. So he also had a prior drug conspiracy case, which would be, I think, like Section 371, right? So he got a downward departure, received cooperation credit. Received cooperation credits in a conspiracy I should just put 371 because I'm quite sure that that's what it is. Conspiracy is like 371, right? From the Central District, and that's in the Central District of California. That's the court Big U and them going to now. That's LA. The Central District of California is the LA federal courts. So we know it's a Central District of California. The case where he got the downward departure. More than likely a Rule 35B or a 5K1, right? And that's on the drug conspiracy cases alleging a violation of Title 21. Oh, no, they said Title 21. Title 21, U.S. Code, Section 846. Boom. Okay. However, former President Biden commuted CW1 sentence for that offense. So the fourth clue is that Biden, he's going to be on the Biden's commuted sentence list for federal prison. So this is what journalistic research do. So if we're going to start there with clue number 4 and make that. So he got off after getting a downward departure on his conspiracy, drug conspiracy under Title 21. He later get that same sentence commuted by the Biden administration, right? D'Angelo Bluford, the man saying y'all compromised because y'all still talking about him. The fuck wrong with y'all Cali niggas? Shaking my head. Wack is the damn police. Leave the police alone, homie. Hey, that sound like Wack100. Hey, listen, bro, I don't give a fuck who he's saying to compromise. His mama compromised, and you sucking his dick, so your mama compromised too, nigga. Get off your motherfucking knees, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. D'Angelo Bluford been sucking Wack off for a long time. That might be one of his things, but he definitely the police. You know what I'm saying? We already know that. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, the police get it too. You act like you didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you from. You know what I'm saying? But here goes the content. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to this. Office of the Pardon Attorney. Can y'all see that? Boom. Let's see what the good people talk about before we get into this. I just don't get why Cuban Rob or someone didn't pop off like Tiny Joe because they ain't built like that. They compromise. Now that's compromise. Not only that, but Big U legal team need to slap a gag order on Wack because he's talking about a trial that he's a cooperating witness. He's constantly talking about this trial on social media. Yeah, bro, it's already a gag order, but they're trying to deny it that he's an informant. People used to get hurt for saying wrong name on phone, so I don't get how Wack not a snitch, man. He's a snitch. Rap News Street Politics be on his grind. I fuck with bro. Page Heavy. He sound like just like my nigga Lil Leak from Avenue Paru. Shout out Lil Leak. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Red Rum. Wack is leaking info via third-party facts by way of social media. That's called open source intel, right? When in fact, he's a major cooperative in this trial. That's a fact, bro. Also, why he never sued Money Mark? He ain't gonna sue Money Mark because he know Money Mark got the bag to play with. Wait a minute, Money Mark, the one that told Big U Wack a rat. Right. He said he was gonna do it. Miss B Team, Swan, salute, Duse M. Mad Swan, B Team, Mad Swan, B Team, Swan, salute, Duse M to the chest, salute to the ass gang. You already know. Bird gang, you know what I'm saying? So look, let me get to this. I'm going to break this down for y'all real quick and easy. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to the Biden commutation 2025 January, you got to go all the way down to It's in alphabet. It was in alphabetical order. Ain't it still in alphabet? Yeah, it's still in alphabetical order. So those is all the A's. Oh, man, it's gonna be a long way down, right? Those is B's. Man, what letter was that? Let me make sure I got the right letter. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. I know we going all the way down, man. I don't want to pass up the letter. And then we're going to show y'all exactly how. Okay, boom. Hold on, we got the thing on? Yeah, we got the thing on. Bang that like button too, man. Let me fix my phone. Because I got the shit already right there. Let me see. What's this? D's. So we gonna get to A, B, C, D, E. Damn, it's a whole bunch of D's that got their sentence commutated. F. Still on F. G's. 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 He's still on G's. Still on G's. GR's. GU. Okay, now we getting on here. Now we getting down to the nitty and the gritty. And his name. Larry Hamilton. Central District of California. December 1st, 2023. 2 years, 6 months. And there goes the 841A. The 846 and 841A1. Conspiracy to manufacture, possess with the intent to distribute and distribute a mixture or whatever. So he got his sentence commutated by Joe Biden. So let's mark his name down right here with a check for category 4 of CW1. So hold on. You can't just say, well, that's him, that's him. It's out the Central District of California. It is the 821, 846 manufacture and possession with intent to distribute case, just like it says, section 846, right? And he was had a sentence commuted. Remember, he also had got a downward departure at first, right? So he got a downward departure. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing would be this. Uh-oh. And then the government give you this information. Oh, yeah, that's the same damn thing. I done grabbed the same damn thing at the same damn time. You know what I'm saying? So here it goes. So right here, you got let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, y'all can see this. So this is from the Compton Courthouse. The people of the state of California versus Larry Dwayne Hamilton. And then he had shooting at an inhabited dwelling in 2003, right? That's PC 246. shooting at inhabited dwelling and or vehicle, etc. That he pled no contender. That means no contest, no contendere in 8/27/2003. 8/27/2003. So clue 2 was it a 2003 shooting at an inhabited dwelling, PC section 246. And that's what you got right there in 2003. That person right there is Larry Dwayne Hamilton. That was in Compton Court. That was clue number 2, right? So we already got the conspiracy charge. So that's 3. You got the Biden commuted sentence, the received the cooperation credit for the conspiracy and intent to distribute under Section 846. That was 2. He had a 2003 shooting at inhabited dwelling, PC 246. That's 3. That was in 2003. And then the last thing was a possession of sales and narcotics in 2003 and 2009. 2003, and here goes the 2009 one right here, right? And there goes the exact same name, Larry Dwayne Hamilton. That's 4 points of check. And now we know who CW1 is. Health and safety code, possession 11351 is the sales. That's possession and purchase, cocaine base for sale. And health and safety 11350, possession of narcotic controlled substance. So he got the 11-50 and he got the 11-51, just like CW1. Every box in the description that the government gives us so that we know information about who this witness is, he checked every single box. Just introduced the world to CW1 and Big U's RICO indictment. He's the one that said that Big U isn't running with the rolling 60s. Oh, no. He has a separate organization called the Big U Enterprise. This is who they based the Big U Enterprise RICO on. This informant. He said he knows Big U. Let's get to it. I think he up out the Nickersons. Let's get back to it. Now we're going to hear it all with context.
So we know there's an individual that they refer to as CW1. They broke down his profile, his case history, and what information he provided. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I'm on to that dude, but I'm not 100% for sure.
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even accidents that
show that is who I think it is. So we're not going to put that out there because, you know, we're not here to make allegations in terms of who's snitching. We're going to tell you exactly who it is. And, you know, a lot of people, of course, they wanted to be Wack100. They wanted to be 600, Brick Baby. We know Luce Cannon's already telling. He's self-snitching. He's implicated himself. But this individual right here is also snitching on Luce Cannon. But as of right now, we got to say factually, it's none of them other dudes. But you know the saying, when life gives you lemons, you end up with Dale Morrison. Now, Dale Morrison is going to be victim number 1. This is actually going to be the biggest rat in this case. So again, this is not CW1 who was pardoned by Joe Biden. And this is not witness 1 that was around the alleged murder situation in Nevada. The witness that was working as a security guard in the studio. This is the man that was getting extorted, so to speak. The one that was robbed by Luce Cannon. and the club promoter who set up the whole situation with Big U and Deja Vu, where it was said that Big U has shook down 30 rats out that situation. But the key thing, man, is who is Dale Morrison? Now, he's not only a rat, he's actually a club promoter, and I would say somewhat of an entrepreneur throughout the city. And the next question one may ask is, why Dale Morrison? Why was he being shook down? It seems like this dude is one of them guys playing all sides. Now, the key thing is Dale Morrison has been in the mix around all these dudes for a long time. Like I said, he's a club promoter, and anybody know these club promoters, they're the ultimate people person. But especially when you promoting black businesses, black clubs, black parties, you're gonna end up intertwining with the hood at some point, especially in LA. So we've seen Dale Morrison, not only with Big U, we've seen him with Nipsey, we've seen him with Gilly the Kid, Joe Moses. Like I said, this dude has been around everybody in the city, and we gotta put this out so nobody else falls into the games that this dude is playing. Now, the paperwork has painted him out to be a victim, and on the contrary, painted Big U to just be somebody that got him in a headlock. But Dale Morrison is actually playing his own games in these streets, man. So the key thing right now is Morrison is under his own federal indictment, which has nothing to do with any of these dudes in this indictment, with this Big U Rolling 60 situation. This dude had his feet in the streets, a full participant in the life of criminality. He's not just some weed shop owner that's trying to make a living and ends meet by playing it fair. This is the misconception of this whole situation. Now, the indictment that he's allegedly the main defendant on is a conspiracy with the intent to possess narcotics, also possession with the intent to distribute narcotics. And the main key thing is the feds are alleging that Dale Morrison is using businesses in LA as fronts, including the same business that Big U was allegedly shaking down. So we've seen Morrison with multiple different businesses: MLB Investments and Holdings, M4 Morrison Media Marketing and Management, DMO 20 Consultants LLC, Everybody Eats, which is also synonymous with the Everybody Eats Genetics cannabis business, which he's affiliated with. Now, at the time when he was allegedly participating in the conspiracy, some of these businesses were operating off some high rises off Fed. Now, as of today, he's changed the addresses to these businesses. But in 2020, it's alleged that he was working with 4 other co-conspirators by the names of Jordan Jackson, Keyshawn Brandon, Brittany Duff, and Deja Purifoy. Now, everybody except for Keyshawn Brandon was operating in Ohio. Keyshawn Brandon, aka Keys, is said to be Morrison's bodyguard, or security, so to speak, that protects his criminal endeavors. And it's said that on July 25th, 2020, Keys was chaperoning around 7,000 grams of meth, approximately 2,000 grams of powder, and around 5,300 grams of weed from LA to Ohio, which is when they got pulled over. And somehow, some way, it comes out that this shipment came from Dale Morrison. Now, mind you, this is July 2020. In the Big U indictment, the Fed said they didn't start watching Big U until February 2021, after the alleged murder committed by Big U in Nevada. But again, they was already watching the 6-0s in 2020, and they were able to track 8 USPS packages sent from Ohio to different addresses in LA, some in the 40s, a business in the Mansfields, and of course, an Addy in the 6-0s, where it said that around 150 racks had came from Ohio and touched down to LA, which the feds are alleging is proceeds that Morrison was receiving in this drug conspiracy. Now, 6 days after they got caught in that car, Morrison's house was hit July 31st, 2020, where it said this dude also had a bunch of weapons. But he wasn't fully taken in on this indictment until a year later, April 28th, 2021. But the Big U document alleges that he was a known extortion target since the beginning of their investigation on Big U. So as we see here in this Big U paperwork, it states victim 1 has a criminal history that includes arrest for narcotics conspiracy and distribution in violation of Title 21, Section 846, respectively, for which he is pending sentencing. It's still an open Fed case. He hasn't been sentenced. Why? Because he's using his telling on Big U in this indictment, in which it says that victim 1 will likely receive cooperation.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Conversations. Let's get to it.
Based on this case and his unrelated pending drug case from the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Ohio. So this information right here is why there's no need for guessing. There's no need for allegations. There's a lot of blunt that's coming out. Is this dude snitching? Is he snitching? You know, people grasping at straws just for the content. The paperwork is telling us
who these people are. What's up?
Like I said, in the forecast, there are some snitches that's coming out.
Ruler report,
you know,
salute.
That's neither here nor there, because we have to move factually when we talking about.
I got that, Julie.
And this is what I mean by this is a dirty character right here. He caught an unrelated Fed case before any of this situation and immediately started pointing fingers at the big fish, because he's a little fish in the streets, but nonetheless, he's still in the streets. He's not some innocent victim just floating around getting a noogie on his head. You know what I'm saying? And then with that situation that they had at Deja Vu on Big U party in 2021, he complained and snitched about Big U pressing him and the other promoter for 30 racks. But then he turns around the next year and still promotes his next party in 2022 at Cheetahs. This dude playing street games, but when the big fish come and collect, he want to point the finger now. But he got some even nastier work on his name. He's also been convicted of a robbery, and guess what? Human trafficking of a minor under the age of 18. Shit, I see why he's getting pressed. This is a weird dude in the streets. And it's also said that he has ties to Wack100. We're going to get to that. Now, one can make the argument that Big U wouldn't even be under an investigation by the feds if it wasn't for this dude. Reason being is because the homicide that took place in Nevada was under investigation by the police in Nevada, not the feds. This dude comes along, and now you have the full RICO, where we're talking about money, extortion, and robbery being involved into a full enterprise with Big U. Now, along with CW1, Morrison also told the feds about the Adrian Broner situation. He had a recording on Big U when he sat down with him April 14th and April 15th of 2022. He was mic'd up when Big U was talking about the Adrian Broner situation. Now, like I said, this is the same person that Luce Cannon admitted to robbing. This is one of the main reasons why Luce Cannon is sitting down. Not only did Luce Cannon talk on the podcast, but what sealed his fate was the dude he robbed was working as an informant. So like I said, all he had to do was corroborate the story that Luce Cannon told as being factual. And of course, with him being the victim, it was extremely easy for
who allowed him to publicly corroborate the story that Dale had already told the feds. Southern Force? Anybody?
You talking about, shoot, that was Luce himself. He gave his own self up.
No, I said, I said, yeah, he corroborated what's the name story. But who presented Luce Cannon so that he could CS2 presents Luce Cannon before 5 million people to corroborate a crime that Dale has already told him had happened involving him and Big U, that Dale already told him he was working with the feds and pointing the finger at Big U. So Wack100 brings him on there to implicate Big U and corroborate the story. Now, who said Wack100 wasn't a rat on the Big U case? Let's go.
Luce Cannon gets snatched up. Now, like I said, he was around all these dudes before this investigation popped off, and he was around all the way up to when they got hit. But in the Big U video, we also spoke about a time when the Nevada police had went to Big U's house to pay him a visit in regards to the murder that took place out there. We see Dale Morrison on the wiretap with them later on that night. giving extortion payments to Vay. And he also dug into multiple details to the feds about how Big U tried to get him to line up other weed dealers and other businesses in the city. But the key thing, this dude was making 25% off of the tape. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like this dude was just living the worst life possible. He got tired of being punked, and his run-in with the feds in the situation in Ohio has led to him becoming spooked. And he's using that to get from up under Big U's thumb. Like I said, we seen this dude with all the rappers, promoting all the parties. We seen him promoting Filthy Rich, everybody. This is not somebody you want to be around. I'm going to keep it real. You never know who else he going to throw up under the bus to lighten up that federal indictment that he got looming over his head. And it's one thing called a sentence memorandum. That memorandum right there breaks down everything in regards to your sentencing. You meet with the judge and they go over everything. All the people that's there for you in the courtroom, all the letters from your employers, your family, all the mitigating factors that you're using to try to get
the other way around.
This is what we showed up to.
Lou
and this is what we left behind after just 2 days. If your fence looks anything like the first,
not to send your ass all the way up the river. And like I said, at that point, that's when these cooperation credits are going to take effect, and it's going to drop his points down and lessen the blow of that offense. That document is still sealed, and he's not sentenced yet. Mind you, this offense happened in 2020, and he went down in 2021. Here we are 4 years later. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get sentenced until after everybody in this Big U indictment is taken care of, because we may see this dude on the stand if anybody takes it to trial, which I'm highly doubting right now. But like I said before, this dude participated in countless wiretaps. It seemed like Vay and Big U stayed on this dude on the phone, and all he was doing was leading these guys over to Title III. But like I said, he went down in April 2021. 8 months after this, this is the man that was making those controlled extortion payments. The FBI gave him thousands of dollars, split up over multiple occasions, slid it right to him so he can go meet with Big U or Vay and document those extortion payments. Like I said, this dude wasted no time to get out in the field and work as a confidential informant, but they call him a victim. And one key thing you got to realize about these dudes that work for the feds.
Wait, wasn't that Rich
of course,
Trapper?
everything's in.
Hey, bro,
as a confidential informant.
That's Rich Trapper, bro. Damn, the Rich Grinder, bro. Look.
Or Vay.
Y'all tell me, is that the Rich Grinder, bro? Tell me I ain't tripping, bro. Rich Grinder.
And document those extortion payments.
Grinder.
Like I said, this dude wasted no time to get out in the field and work as a confidential informant, but they call him a victim. And one key thing you got to realize about these dudes that work for the feds, you know, of course, everything's incentivized. There's a reason. They got something hanging over your head, but you also have to enter some sort of a contractual agreement with these people. And of course, nobody wants their information out there. Nobody wants the feds to say that they working for them. But the key thing is, in that contract that you sign with these folks, they let you know that they can't promise and ensure you that your information will be kept solid. Because at some point, if somebody goes to trial, you may be called as a witness. But like we see here, they basically told us who he was. Again, this is why there should be no speculation in putting out false content until the information drops. But what we meant by this dude playing all sides, you know, as a club promoter, he's mixed in with everybody. Wack is in the entertainment business. He got to get his artists in these clubs and make this chilly. But on June 5th, 2022, on the wiretap, Big U was telling this dude, stop doing business with Wack100 because he's a rat. And a month after that, Big U broke down the situation to Dale Morrison that he had with Wack100. Now, I believe Wack was talking about this, you know, he's kind of hard to listen to. I'm going to keep it real, man. But the account of the incident that was on wiretap, the account that the feds have, and the account that Dale Morrison has is that Big U and some 6-0s chased down Wack. And Wack took off screaming, saying, my wife draws. I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene. I see you. He said he was screaming, and he said he had a blower. But he said Wack pleaded and said, don't do this. My wife, my kids in the car. He said, draws, don't do this. This is the account told by Big U to Dale Morrison. So we see why Wack is on this campaign, man. These two is for sure big.
So far, we got CW1, we got Dale Morrison, Victim 1. We got we know Luce Cannon was already snitching from the beginning. He shot himself in the leg, then lied, snitched on Big U, right? Shit, the white boy Adam should be in the same boat though. Yeah, he ain't. But everybody already know he working. The big question is the biggest psyop in hip hop right now. The biggest question is why would Dale confide in Wack that he's working, and why would Wack record that phone call knowing Dale is working with them folks and the phone is tapped? You know what I'm saying? Because Dale told him the phone was tapped, so he said, "Well, I'm gonna put you on the phone with Luce Cannon. He's a dummy. I'm lining him up." CS2 was questioning Blood on No Jumper like he was on Caroline Mason from the first 48. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Greg Caden introduced Dale to Wack. Damn, that dude looked like him. Yeah, man. Somebody said they don't think that's him, right? It looked like him at first. Laughing my ass off for the same way. Snoopy right ass. Wack needs to answer for why he was recording that phone call. What street nigga records criminality that blatantly? Wack had he recorded a confession on a wiretap phone with a known informant. This is nasty work. So we finna go ahead and we finna cut that out. And we finna get to this Byron Blake. Then we got my guy say the best for last 504 street stories and worldwide gangster news. Let's get into this Byron Blake story, this Byron Blake content, and then we're going to get into that 504. Shout out to the 504.
Since the news of Big U's arrest hit the internet,
Byron Blake, go hit that like button, let them know
about what the outcome of the proceedings will be. A lot of people predicting that Big U is never coming home again, never seeing the streets again. You got some people like myself who don't feel that the case is as strong as they try to make it sound in the paperwork. And then you got those people who just in the middle is like, I don't really know, but the accusations sound harsh. One of the people who is contributing to those accusations sounding so harsh is Wack100. Wack100 has been all over the internet talking about this case, talking about the evidence that they have against Big U, talking about how strong the evidence they have against Big U is, and most importantly, trying to clear his name of any involvement in the case. A lot of people are just using their common sense and saying, hey, Wack's name is all through this indictment. He has to be involved. Me personally, when you look at any type of legal paperwork and you see somebody listed as a victim, I don't see the law enforcement ever call somebody a victim, label them a victim, put their name in paperwork as a victim without talking to them first and confirming that they were in fact a victim. Because then you open the door for a person to come out and say, hey, nothing happened to me, and now your whole case is blown. So today,
did you know Roblox-linked child sex abuse claims are exploding and families may be owed millions?
Parents, stop and listen. Did you know parents?
We gonna take a look at this paperwork and not just whether or not Wack is a victim, but we gonna look into whether or not Wack was actually involved in putting this case together and orchestrating this case. We're gonna start with victim 1, which is Dale Morrison. And the reason we started with him is because a lot of the evidence that was gathered in this case was gathered as a part of an investigation that he started. A lot of the recordings that you hear are they exist because Big Dale consented to phone calls being recorded. We're going to get all into that. Without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Now, as I said, when this case originally dropped, a lot of the focus was on Dale and this victim one claim because this was the only thing that they had actual recordings of. This, you know, the murder is like speculation, is kind of a circumstantial case, but this seemed to be the nail in the coffin to everybody. They had Big U on these recordings, allegedly extorting this dude for up to $25,000 a month. He was saying that they've been extorting him for years, and you know, people were under the impression that the feds started investigating Big U and just stumbled up on these recordings. You know, a lot of people thought they sought a wiretap, they got the wiretap, and while they had the wiretap, they just ran across this information. In reality, this victim one, Big Dale, he had actually gotten into trouble in another state, in Ohio. He got into a federal case which involved drug trafficking and also the sexual exploitation of underage girls. Now, most would think that this is where Big Dale decided that he was going to cooperate against Big U, and where he agreed to do so in exchange for a lighter sentence or whatever the situation is he was trying to get out of in Ohio. But the reality is these court documents recently released on the 19th, I believe, just a few days ago, actually show that Big Dale was not operating as a CI at the time that he cooperated against Big U, reported Big U. He was actually cooperating in an unrelated matter. And it's looking like the information that he was providing them in that situation was not going to be enough to keep him out of prison. And so he concocted a plan to serve somebody up to the feds. At this point, Big Dale decides that he's going to go to the government and report that Big U has been extorting him for years, and that he could prove so, you know, by allowing them to electronically record his calls and conversations with Big U and the people around him. As previously stated, according to these documents, Big Dale, victim one, told the government that this extortion by Big U had been going on for years. After victim one consented to the consensual recordings and they started to electronically monitor the phone calls, they were inclined to believe his version of events, because while listening to these phone calls, they heard conversations allegedly between Big Dale, Big U, and somebody by the last name of Robinson, in which they are discussing victim one making payments for rent. They also discuss victim one identifying additional robbery victims, and victim one will be compensated 25% of the robbery. So it's not like they were just talking about robbing people. They were talking about giving victim one a percentage of the proceeds as well. This is why that's important, because recently some new information has come to light, and this new information contradicts everything that the government is arguing. We about to get into that. We got some documents to go with it too. But before that, let's listen to OG Gumby tell us his version of events. And we're going to compare that to the paperwork and also to some other things that have been said by Mr. Wack100.
Mr. Wack, tell everybody how you paid Monster. Dale Morrison, you paid Monster to go tell on Big U to get him off the way. When I touch down, I have the conversations in my phone between me and Monster. Yes, this is how Wack is even out of jail. This is why he's scared that Big U is finna go to trial because his whole ass is the reason Big U is really in jail. He paid Dale Morrison, which is Monster, to tell on Big U. Thank God. God take care of babies and fools, right? See, because that was my lick first. Dale called me on the phone and brought me up there on somewhere downtown to this big ass warehouse full of weed, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? I heard this little spill. You know me, first thing I'm finna go put it down. Round up all the crew, everything. Called a nigga back the next morning, he said, oh man, Big U, you know what I'm saying? He already in on it with me. Bam. Big U and already hit the lick. Coldest shit ever.
Yep. It's called a home equity agreement. And I got $143,000 for my home equity.
Now, the reason that audio is so important is because it reveals that victim one, Big Dale, is not actually a victim. He's actually someone who was involved in the business of working for dispensaries, finding out where they keep their factories, and then staging robberies at the factories. So what happens is a person comes in, they rob the factory. This employee pretends to know nothing about it. Then he goes to the people who committed the robbery, picks up a portion of the proceeds, and goes on about his business. No harm, no foul. The issue with this situation is Big Dale was in trouble. And rather than go to the feds and try to negotiate a plea bargain for, some type of information against Big U, probably believing that it would be harder to get such a thing done if he had to document his cooperation, he decided that he was just going to go out here and, he was going to try to stage this lick, and whoever got booked for it, he was going to report them. The reason that's an easier route is because it takes away the paper trail of you agreeing to cooperate on your case and all of that different stuff. It's hard for people to figure out who the snitch is without a paper trail. If Big Dale goes in here to the Ohio government and says, I know something about these guys in Cali, they have to document all of this stuff. And there's a strong chance that something could show up on his docket that would expose him before he gets a chance to get this done. At the same time, once again, this shows not only that Big U was not the specific target, but also that Big Dale was involved. He was not just a victim, he was involved in the perpetration and execution of the robbery as well. The reason why that makes a difference, let's take a look at this screen. In a recent filing, the government was challenged to explain why they would not only take the word of someone who is accused of being a drug trafficker and also trafficking underage girls,
in the interest
but
of justice,
someone who actually participated in the crime. They are being accused of gross misconduct by officials. And in response to this, they would say, first, the enterprise existed years before any cooperation, as the indictment alleges, basically saying that there's no way they can be responsible for creating this situation if this enterprise existed before this particular situation. Secondly, victim one's role was entirely passive. He reported a robbery and consented to recordings. He didn't initiate, plan, or facilitate any criminal conduct. Let's stop right there.
Thank God. God take care of babies and fools, right? See, because that was my lick first. Dale called me on the phone and brought me up there on somewhere downtown to this big ass warehouse full of weed, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? I heard this little spill. Me, first thing I'm finna go put it down. Round up all the crew, everything. Called a nigga back the next morning, he said, oh man, Big U, you know what I'm saying? He already in on it with me. Bam, Big U and already hit the lick. Coldest shit ever.
One of the things students love about culinary school online with the Scofier is the toolkit. Our students can receive a starter kit of professional tools, including knives, a chef coat, and other basics to help them complete their assignments. When it comes to making culinary school available online,
Man, they
Escoffier
got
has
kind
thought
of
of
chilly.
everything.
My bad, Damu Kiwe Conversation.
The reason I played that clip again for y'all is because it directly contradicts the government's claims that Big Dale didn't initiate, plan, or facilitate any criminal conduct. We now have someone coming, and once again, because they decided to bring in the no jumper interview as evidence, they have now opened the door for all of this stuff to be brought in as evidence, whether it's for credibility purposes or for truth of the matter.
Right.
So we now have somebody who is saying, hey, this guy actually shopped this thing around. And this makes perfect sense. This explains why they had to do consensual recordings instead of filing for a wiretap application. They didn't have time to do wiretap applications and, create the right paper trail to show that this is something that was just going on and not a situation that was manufactured. Had they applied for a wiretap and taken that information to a judge to try to get a wiretap, that would have drawn out a few weeks, which may have made some people suspicious. Like, damn, this dude just popped up talking about he got a lick for us, but now all of a sudden he disappeared for a couple weeks. So, they allowed him to move forward and just consent to recording. On the flip side of this, Big Dale is having private recordings and conversations with people where he is orchestrating these events. But then when he gets on his consensually recorded phone, he just plays victim and acts like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So, example, Big Dale books an event, agrees to pay Big U $30,000. The day of the event comes, instead of shutting it down and saying, hey, we don't have enough people here to make this amount of money, he goes through with the entire party, allows people to come in, pay their money to get in, but then he tries to stiff Big U on the payment. Now, according to the agreement, Big U was charging a flat fee of $30,000, and Developing Options was also supposed to get 30% of the money. According to these documents, Big Dale had an issue with wanting to pay because he felt like he didn't receive, what he was promised. People didn't show up, etc. And so he felt like, hey, I shouldn't have to pay. On the flip side of that, Big U is saying, hey, you use my likeness. You used these artists that I told you were coming. They only agreed to be on this flyer because of me. They not asking for.
Does that sound like extortion, y'all? So Southern Force, real quick. Belina, what up?
Yo, what up, man?
Real quick, right? Tell me this sound like extortion, right? I tell you, hey, look, Southern Force, I'm trying to book you. You know what I'm saying? At this club, I'm gonna throw this party, use you on the flyer. A couple celebrities, they not gonna tell you no, they from Texas, bro. Didn't you say you grew up with one of the, what's the artist you grew up with out there in Texas?
I grew up with a couple of them from Mo3 to DSR.
Is that the one you sent me the music to, DSR?
Oh no, that's my brother Luce and Pookie from Crooks.
Okay, so Luce and Pookie. So they know you, so because they know it's a party for you, they said they gonna come. I'm gonna have them performing, and then what's the name said he'll perform for me for the low, based on it's your party. So we gonna have 3 performances and this and this and that. We gonna use your name. You say, well, look, I need 30,000 in, right? And I say, okay, I agree to that, right? Everything at the party comes through. Maybe something. Then you know how that go. Sometimes last minute cancels or flight problems, whatever it could be, right? But whatever it is, you're going to be expecting your 30,000. So when I tell you, hey, look, bro, you didn't only Pookie came, your other homie didn't come perform. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel I owe you $30,000. Is you gonna accept that?
Heck no, because for a simple fact, you wouldn't even have the ticket sales if it wasn't for my likeness, wasn't for my appearance, wasn't for my name. No, it's a fuck you pay me situation. You chose to use my likeness. You chose to use my rep. You chose to use my name, and your ticket sales and probably your bottle sales have went up. So yeah, I want all mine.
And now I tell the feds, you get I get to dodging you. You looking for your money, I'm still dodging you. And then I tell the feds, you trying to extort me. You know?
Yeah, that's a coward move. He using that to get out of the deal they made, and now he trying to make it seem like oh yeah, he trying to extort me, but in actuality, you owe that man money. You use that man likeness. You use his motion style. You use his shoes, and you got your ticket sales on. So yeah, but that's a cold game, man. That's a cold game for cats to do rat tendencies out of fear.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm finna hold on. Let's finish this real quick.
A cut of this money, even though they were on the flyer used to promote this. So I still want my full chop. Now, this entire time, Big Dale, victim one, he's recording this conversation. This is all consensually recorded this entire time. And it's because he has been telling the government that Big U is extorting him. But when you look at this situation, this is janky promoter activity. This is Big Dale agreeing to something with Big U.
Promoters.
Intentionally trying to stiff him. He could have just, hey, we made the money, pay Big U the money. Instead, he found a reason not to want to pay Big U just to upset him and make him assert himself as any man would. If you make an agreement with me and you agree to pay me, but then you try to find an excuse not to pay me, even though you still made the money, we gonna have a problem. That's with any man. What the law is saying is that instead of Big U saying, hey, I'm finna go get a couple of the guys and come back up here and you better have my money, that he should have taken a legal route and, sued or something for the money. But what I think a lot of people are overlooking is Big U didn't just assert himself on Big Dale. He didn't force himself on Big Dale. He made an agreement. Big Dale tried to stiff him. That's a stiff. He created a hostile environment just to get a reaction out of Big U. If Big U don't react the way he react, then his face been all over this flyer. These people just made all of this money off his name and he don't get a dime of it. See how that goes? So they are alleging that, okay, y'all saying we extorted this dude or whatever, but now we saying that he is basically a government worker who created these hostile environments to get us to act a certain way. Basically entrapment. That's what they are saying. The government is responding and saying, hey, he didn't set up nothing. But now you got Gumby coming in saying that he shopped this idea to him about this robbery, which, like I said, it contradicts the government's theory, and it also adds some substance to this.
Dale said he had to turn himself in December. He said, what? Big U's hot. He working. I'm not going to lie. He admitted it. I worked it. I told him Big U been extorting that nigga. Wack, when I did business with you, it was real business. Even when I owed your people, shut out to me, and it was fair business. We made a deal, we negotiated, you shook hands, you left. You left me with the people. Whenever I sent you money to deliver orders, you always deliver. But these niggas want to come over here playing with me.
I haven't been to the grocery
These
store in
niggas
months
want to go over
this
here
delivery
playing
service
with
offers
me.
hundreds of high-quality,
Shout out Byron Blake, weird
Now,
ass. He was using that Scandalous Los Angeles clip right there. Shout out both Scandalous Los Angeles.
You just heard was Wack100 describing a conversation with Big Dale in which Big Dale admitted and acknowledged to him that he was cooperating and that he was setting Big U up. And then he explained a motive for doing so. He explained the motive for doing so. According to Wack, his motive was not that he was extorted and that he was being robbed, but that he didn't like the way Big U did business. He didn't like the fact that, you know, he would put artists on the flyer and those artists wouldn't show up. We heard Wack elaborate on this more, where he mentioned that artists would agree to do shows for Big U, and Big U, they would agree to do shows for Big U for free. And Big U would then turn around and tell a person, hey, I got this artist on this date, give me 50,000, you know? And then the artist would show up thinking they doing a free show. But in fact, Big U has charged someone 50,000 for this, which is really none of Wack's business. That don't really sound like a crime to me. Sound like some hustling, but that is what it is too. You know, a lot of people view stuff differently. But if you think that that's a crime, let me know in the comments, because that most definitely don't sound. It sound like some hustling. You got something for free, you sold it to
y'all
somebody.
think that's a
don't sound like breaking the law or extortion to me. But in any case, the issue was that he didn't like the way that Big U was doing business. Big U probably could have said the same about him. I don't like the fact that this guy, if you're not in touch with the artist, something is not going according to plan, you're supposed to announce that to the audience, cancel the show, whatever. Instead, this dude goes along with the shows, fills the buildings up, makes all the money, and then tries to back out of paying Big U, even
Solo
though
Dolo, what
Developing
up?
Options is also on the flyer as the person who puts this together. If you've been in the club business, then you know what's going on. If you haven't, look into it. This type of stuff be going on. It sounds janky, but
janky promoters.
This is the type of stuff that goes on. In any case, what this reveals to me is that Dale and Wack were having this conversation. That's the main point that I took from this. Not what it was about, but the fact that he was talking to Wack about, being
Peter
involved
to pay
in another
Paul.
case and being in trouble and cooperating and setting Big U up. The fact that he was talking to Wack about that makes
That's
it likely
exactly what I think
and
happened,
probable
Mike B.
that between him talking to Gumby about this situation at the factory and him talking to Big U, that he could have talked to Wack. He talks to Gumby. Gumby tell him he gonna get back with him. He called Wack, which is somebody that he has acknowledged he has done business with. Wack acknowledges he was doing business with him. He get in touch with Wack. Wack tell him, hey, go ahead, shit. You got that case going on. Go and serve Big U up. And he get a bright idea. And this, once again, would explain why there is no agreement to work against Big U in this case, because he got in trouble in Ohio. So he was going to go out to Cali and just act like nothing was going on and keep on trying to make money and run it up. But at the same time, he's feeling the pressure of this case. What can I do to get out of this situation? If I go to the feds and tell them that I want to cooperate, then they're going to want to, document it, and it's going to be involved in this case, the paperwork from this case. And then people are, like that case that he was involved, that would involve some meth and some Mexicans, and niggas don't be wanting to tell on the amigos, man. Hey, them paisas, man. Niggas don't be wanting to tell on the amigos, man, straight up. So, he was looking for an out. And, he had the bright idea, hey, I'm going to just create situations. Because, again, what can he tell them about Big U? He can't go to them and tell them Big U selling drugs, because he don't know of that. He the one that's charged with selling drugs. And, you know what I'm saying?
Bang
So
that like button.
the only thing he could tell them is, hey,
let's go.
Sometimes I be trying to stiff dude and don't pay him, and he be forcing me to pay. That's what this turned into. But we gotta acknowledge, bro, this a frame job. I know some of y'all don't like Big U. Y'all may disagree with some of his methods and tactics, but this a frame job, bro. This dude was literally going around showing people this factory, setting up this play. He was setting the play up just so he could go and report it. A lot of people do. They go report it. Now you can get the insurance money from whatever was taken. You don't look like a suspect to the company, you know.
Or the plug that fronted you the
Look
week.
at the paperwork. It says that Dale was asked to find victims of robberies and he would get 25% of the proceeds. What type of extortion is that? That sounds like a partner to me. It sounds like we telling you, hey, do your part, you're going to get your chop. Find somebody, we're going to give you 25%. What extortion victims get 25%? Y'all gotta, you know, when it come to cases, man, you can't just look at one side's case. You got to look at the other side's case. You got to look at the other evidence that's popped up and been presented. And you take all of these things and you know, develop a judgment based on that. Based on all of the stuff that I see right here, Big Dale got in trouble in Ohio and he came back and started creating situations to put Big U into so that he could go to the government and say, hey, this is what Big U is doing. That's just my take on it. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, though. You know, Big U and them got some paperwork in right now, as y'all can see, that's alleging this. They alleging gross government misconduct, outrageous government misconduct, basically saying this dude worked for y'all and he's setting all this shit up and then coming back, putting it on us. Which is
nasty work. Shout out to Byron Blake, man. I definitely agree with him wholeheartedly. I see it the way he see it, bro.
Yeah, that's nasty, bro.
Forrest, go ahead and break it down from your perspective.
Man, from my perspective is this. So the long tail or rat got in trouble, right? And he turned around and tried to get himself out of a fucked up predicament, which he which he said, oh wait, I can line up this lick and I can call some people I know, and then when they get hit, I just put it all on them and I'll be off the case. So little did he know that he allegedly when talked to Big U about this situation. So basically, not only you did this cover your own ass, you lined up a reputable member of your tribe, of your nation. You ain't right. He ain't shit for that. Like why the fuck would you use Big U as a scapegoat when you could have just took it on the chin like a man, like everybody, like you, Deuce, like me. When it went there, got locked up, did our fucking time, and came the fuck home and called back in. We can never catch up, but we can always catch in. Why the fuck it don't apply to these niggas? Because it's the fear within them. See, some of these cats that be around the tribes or be around your sets, you think they're solid ones, but they actually do it out of fear. They don't do it as a warrior. They do it out of fear. And that's what I think. I think he did pulled a coward ass move and lined up a reputable man that was trying to make a difference in the community.
Yeah, we gonna get to this last one, man. I totally agree. Shout out my boy 504 Street Stories and Worldwide Gangster News. Let's get into it. He said, I'm sick of all the fake Big U stories from these fake case lawyers.
This is my last video before I turn myself in.
Can you get below 85% of your federal prison sentence without snitching?
I'm Joe McNally, the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U.
This isn't a movie. This isn't a rumor. This is what's happening right now.
Hey, bro, before I even run about Big U, we got to clean something up real quick because apparently the internet graduated from federal law school last Thursday. Everybody woke up with a legal degree. Everybody a prosecutor now. Everybody let something know how indictments work. I ain't gonna name no name, but I'm sure y'all boy know who I'm talking about. This rat been leeching off the entire culture for years and trying to put together pieces just like the other police trapped Law Ross or some shit. I'm not even fronting. Man, the way some of these dudes be talking, you think federal agents just spin the wheel in the office like, all right, who we charging a day? Click, boom, indictment. No investigation, no timeline, no witnesses. Just a title and a thumbnail. And the craziest part, dudes explaining federal cases like they explaining a reality show. He cooked. It's over. They got him. Based on what? A headline in the comment section? That ain't analyst at all. That's some sucker shit. That's guessing with confidence like you was actually right there in the mix making shit up. And the confidence be loud too. That I ain't accusing nobody. That I'm just saying loud. The clown ass dude talking like he was in the grand jury room. Like the prosecutor CC'd him on email. Like the agents ran the case by him first. Man, y'all don't know what's going on, bruh. And that's not even an insult. That's just reality. Straight up truth, because federal cases don't move on social media timelines. They move slow, quiet, structured. And the biggest mistake this dude making right now is thinking indictments start when somebody get arrested. Nah. That's just when the public find out. By the time that knock hit the door, the case already been moving. Months, years sometimes. Paperwork already built. Statements already collected. People already talk. And this is where some of these dudes really be confused. The grand jury report. People think that's a trial. It's not. There's no defense in there arguing back and forth. No cross-examination. It's the prosecution presenting their side to everyday citizens, deciding if there's enough to proceed. That's it. None of that other bullshit this dude saying. And the information they present, it don't just come from surveillance like it's the early 2000s with binoculars and shit. It comes from people, neighbors, people from out your hood, sometimes even family, bruh. Anybody subpoenaed to answer the question. They're not sitting on the grand jury. They feeding it information, providing statements, confirming patterns. And the trip part is just, you don't know who went in there. They're not telling you. You're not getting them transcripts like that there. Names blacked out, statements redacted, process sealed. Period. And the standard at that stage ain't trial level proof. They not proving guilt. They building probable cause. Hearsay is allowed. Agent summaries is allowed. Investigative outlines is allowed. The trial is where the evidence gets tested. Two completely different stages. This dude online blending it together like it's one long hearing. It's not. And another thing, federal cases today don't rely on movie style surveillance alone. It's statements, records, associations, phone data, financial movement, patterns. They build layers. And by the time an indictment shows up publicly, the layers already stacked. Names already mentioned, connections already mapped, timelines already reviewed. That's why the paperwork look heavy when it lands, because it didn't just start yesterday. It's been building quietly, methodically. Then once that indictment drops, everything shifts. Now it ain't investigation mode. Now it's pressure mode. Charges, exposure, enhancements, guideline numbers, all that shit. That's where the system starts tightening. And you might not even be in the first wave. Your name could come in later through statements, through associations, through prior cases getting revisited. Once your name enters that environment, everything tied to you gets examined. History, connection, communication, money movement, all of it. And people be looking at the paperwork like it appeared out the sky with all new shit the feds didn't already have. And I ain't talking about certified dudes that stamp to speak on this shit like Duse M, that boy Aunt Hefe, and the homie Eon from the DC Blacks. Nah, that shit grew step by step because the dudes on the case trying to save themselves. Because even someone who knows nothing about the federal court system at all should know that indictments don't equal conviction without informing.
Hold on, let's hear what he said. He said something about Duse Sims. Hold on.
You heard me?
History, connection, communication, money movement, all of it. And people be looking at the paperwork like it appeared out the sky with all new shit the feds didn't already have. And I ain't talking about certified dudes that stamp to speak on this shit like Duse M, that boy Aunt Hefe, and the homie Eon from the DC Blacks. Nah, that shit grew step by step because the dudes on the case trying to save themselves. Because even someone who knows nothing about the federal court system at all should know that indictments don't equal conviction without informants. Indictments mean the government believe they got enough to move forward, to present shit at trial, enough to proceed. big difference, bruh. That's when the real pressure starts. Some stand, some fold, some go to trial, some panic, some start talking. And once talking enters the equations, the cases never start moving forward. That don't start at arrest, bruh. That starts way before the public ever hears a name. And everything that happens after that builds off that foundation. Now let's talk about this part this dude keep missing. The superseding indictment didn't just happen. This was coming the second Big U made it clear he not folding and he taking them people to trial. That's how the feds move, bruh. When they see you not about to plead, not about to cooperate, not about to sit at that round table and help them build the rest of their cases, they change gears. Right then and there, they start stacking the deck. And in the street, stacking the deck mean one thing. They start adding pressure to make you break. More counts, more names, more allegations, more paperwork, not random shit. All of that there be intentional. Just like the Nipsey Hussle phone call conversation shit. The feds been had that. You really believe that they somehow just magically pulled that shit out of their asses? Man, stop. It was waiting on the right time to put it out there because trial cost them time, money, resources, witnesses, preparation. And one thing the federal system hates, it defended that won't bend. But what they do, they start tightening everything around you. That's where the superseding indictment come in. Not as no surprise bullshit like all these dudes saying on YouTube. Not as some secret move or some got you moment. They knew from jump Big U wasn't about to cooperate. He ain't been moving like somebody trying to cut a deal. He moving like somebody ready to fight them bitches in court. So now they respond. You ever notice when somebody refuses to take a plea, suddenly most shit start appearing in the paperwork? That ain't by coincidence, homie. That's pressure. It start going back through statements, back through interviews, back through reports, back through whoever already talked. Then they rebuild a narrative stronger, not because it just popped up yesterday, bruh. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Because it was always sitting there waiting to be used if Big U didn't fold. That's why the superseding indictment hit. Timing matters, especially when you're dealing with the feds. And the timing lined up perfectly with one thing. Big U taking their ass to trial. Once that decision get made, the gloves come off because now the prosecution ain't negotiating. They preparing for war. And part of preparing for war is making the battlefield uncomfortable. You make the numbers look worse. You make the story look bigger. You make the situation feel heavier. Not for the internet, for the defendant. Psychological type shit. Mental warfare. You sitting in the cell reading new paperwork every few months, watching it grow, watching your name tied to more and more. That's designed to wear dudes down. That's federal strategy, you dig? Not theory, strategy. They banking on mental and physical fatigue. They banking on fear. They banking on that moment when a dude finally say, man, let me just take this deal. That's the goal. Always been the goal. Because trials are risky for them too. People don't like saying that part, but it's true. And dig this here. The worst thing you can do when you're being housed at a federal detention center is hop on that wall phone. They want you to do that shit. That's how they build cases. That's how they put other people tied to you under investigation and drag them in too. Once you step in the courtroom, the government got to prove everything. Not assume, not suggest. Prove. So before it gets there, they try everything to avoid that. Superseding indictments are part of that process. It's not panic. It's not them scrambling. It's pressure, real pressure. In this Big U situation makes that obvious. Big U not cooperating. Big U not taking a plea. So now they stacking the deck, trying to make the fight feel heavier than it already is. Trying to make the number look scary. Trying to make the paperwork look overwhelming. Because both dudes break before trial. And when they stack the deck like that, something gonna stick. You heard me?
Yeah,
that's the reality. Most don't want to gamble with their life, so they call themselves taking a lick. But even taking your lick ain't what people think it is. Because when you take your lick on the conspiracy, you still confirming the government story exists. And that story usually got more than one name in it. That right there is basically telling without really telling type shit. That's why superseding indictments show up. Not because the case new, because the strategy shifted from investigation to pressure. And once it hits that stage, it ignites a flame. Everything the feds do is designed for one purpose: break the defendant before trial. And if he don't break, Then they walk
Facts,
in the
Jay
court with
Williams.
everything they done stacked, every statement, every report, every cooperating witness, every lie, every narrative angle they built. That's how the feds work, out overnight, step by step. And right now, you watching the pressure phase play out in real time with Big U case. Now let's get into another piece people keep misunderstanding. This whole check my docket sheet shit. Not bloggers saying it, not social media saying it. I'm talking defendants saying it, dudes in prison saying it. They love throwing that out like it clears everything up. Go pull my docket, everything on my case right there. And it sounds convincing if you don't know how federal procedure actually really moves. A docket sheet only shows what was filed in court, motions, hearing, orders, formal activity. That's it. But it don't show it this here. Meetings with the prosecutor, debriefs, roundtable sessions with your conversations between lawyers and prosecutors and federal agents, information exchanges, cooperation attempts. None of that's on the docket sheet, homie, because it's not a filing. It's a strategy that the feds use. That's the part that people miss. You can go on Pacer right now, put a docket, scroll through every entry, and still have zero idea what really been happening behind the scenes. All facts. Because the real movement, that shit happened off paper. Somebody getting walked to a room to talk, not on a docket. Somebody sitting with their lawyer weighing options, not on a docket. Somebody being approached about cooperation, not on the docket. Those things don't require your emotion, so they never show up. That's why dudes who've been through the federal system don't treat docket sheets like truth detectives. They know better. They know what's on there already, and they know what's not on there. And that right there connects to another thing these dudes stay confused about. The round table. That's not court. That's not a hearing. That's not a judge. That's a meeting. Usually at the courthouse. Yeah, but not inside a courtroom. Two agents, a prosecutor, defense lawyer, defendant, conversation, information going back and forth. Big time pressure. Offering you please to snitch. And it don't get announced to the world. Sometimes a dude think they get moved for court, end up somewhere else entirely. Because not every elevator ride in the courthouse leads to a judge. That's federal reality, you dig? Now tie that back to conspiracy cases. You got multiple people on one indictment. Some fighting, some scared, some trying to figure out what they facing. And behind closed doors, the government talking to as many of them as possible. Not always offering deals though. Sometimes just fishing, seeing who panics, seeing who talks, seeing who cracks. Because one conversation can open 5 more doors. That's how cases grow without it ever touching the docket sheet. Dudes love to say, check my docket sheet, but docket sheets only show the surface, and the surface never tells the whole story. So when you hear people like this dude, Luce Cannon, saying, check his docket sheet, that's why ain't shit on there. Another thing that trips people up is this idea that if somebody was really talking, everybody would know who talking immediately. Nah, homie. That's not how that shit works. Cooperation can sit still months, sometimes longer, because it ain't meant for the public. It's meant for the case, and the case moves at its own pace. So while people online waiting for proof, the government already moving with the information, and the defendant sitting there not knowing who said what on them. That uncertainty is part of the mind game the feds play, because when you don't know who talking, you don't know where the next move coming from. That shit messes with dudes mentally, especially when they watching paperwork grow, watching new allegations appear, watching the story expand, and they still don't know the source. That's not accidental. That's organized structure being used by the Fed. Federal cases built to keep dudes off balance, not just legally, psychologically. And this is where the misunderstanding is dangerous.
Warfare.
People start thinking federal prosecution is just about evidence. It's not, bruh. It's about pressure, isolation, information control, and time. Time is the biggest weapon. You sit long enough, people change. They rethink. They panic. They second guess. That's why these cases don't move fast. They move steady, calculated, layered, nothing rushed, everything intentional. And the longer it drags, the more chances the government gets to gather more statements, more records, more connections, without ever putting it into a document until they're ready. That's why relying on service level paperwork alone is a mistake, because what you see publicly is always a fraction of what's happening privately. Always. And once you understand that there, you start realizing how much of a federal case exists outside the courtroom. Way more than people think. Way more than than what's written down, way more than what gets filed. Because the real battle starts long before a judge ever hears a word. Now, this right here is another piece people never really break down right. How the case keep building after the first indictment drop. Because people still stuck thinking the indictment is the finish line. It's not, bruh. That's just the starting bell. That's when the real work starts. Because once Big U made it clear he not cooperating and he taking this to trial, the government already knew what direction they was going in. That wasn't reaction. That was planned from the jump. Bruh, I'm tired of saying it. When somebody stand firm like that, the playbook don't change. It intensifies. More digging, more pressure, more angles. Not because the feds is confused, because that's the tactic. They want that movement. They want the cracks in the armor. They want somebody around the case to fold. And if the main target not moving, they start tightening the environment around them. That's when you start seeing the deck being stacked. Different counts, different narrative, different pieces being introduced, not random, strategic, because the goal of the feds ain't just a conviction. The goal is to make the fight uncomfortable enough that taking the deal starts looking easier than fighting. That's the whole play, bruh. Now let's talk about how that plays out in real time. You got co-defendants watching the charges grow, watching the language change, watching the picture get bigger, and every time that happens, pressure spreads because not everybody built to sit still under federal weight. Some start thinking about themselves, their family, their time, their future. And once that mindset shift happens, information start moving faster than Speedy Gonzalez. That's when cases evolve again. Not because the government suddenly figures something out overnight, bruh, but because people around the case start trying to save themselves. That's the ugly truth nobody's saying. Oh, fuck, maybe they just clueless. Because after watching all of this misinformation in these videos and shit, is mind-boggling. The system banks on dudes flipping. It's designed around rats and snitches. That's why the conviction rate is so high. You indict multiple people knowing full well some of them not built for that fight. And once one person moves, everything connected to them gets re-examined. Phones, money, association, old conversation, old situations, anything that can be reshaped in the evidence. That's why federal cases feel like they grow while you watching them. Because they do. Not fast, not sloppy, but steady. Piece by piece. All by design, bruh. And here's something else most people overlook. Trial itself is the last thing the government wants. Trials are expensive, time-consuming, unpredictable. They prefer deals. They prefer pleas. They prefer resolution without courtroom risk. So when somebody like Big U keep pushing towards trial, that changes the temperature. Because now they have to prepare for a fight instead of a negotiation. And preparation means reinforcing the case from every direction possible. That's why new angles appear, not because they're scrambling, because they're planning for the possibility it won't end quietly. And the longer it stays on that path, the more layers get added, not just legally, strategically. Every move aimed at one outcome. Pressure strong enough to make somebody change position, not just the main defendant. Anybody that's connected to that shit. That's how federal conspiracy cases operate. They don't isolate pressure to one person. They distribute it across the entire circle, bruh. And when the circle starts feeling it, decisions start getting made. Some fight, some fold, some wait, some talk. And each decision shifts the shape of the case. That's why it never stays in the same form you first saw it. It evolves because the system is built to keep moving until it gets what it wants. And what it wants most is control of the outcome before trial even happens. That's the real end game, you heard me? Not the arrest, not the headline, not the paperwork. Control. Control through leverage. Control through time. Control through uncertainty. And when you understand that there, you stop looking at each development like it's random. You start seeing the pattern, the long game, the patience, the intentions behind every move. Because nothing in federal prosecutions moves without purpose. Nothing. Every addition, every adjustment, every new direction, all tied to one thing, breaking resistance, not loudly, not publicly, but methodically. And until the courtroom doors actually open, process keeps running in the background, steady, focused, unseen by most people. but shaping everything that comes next. Now let's talk about something people really don't understand. Psychology of the federal system, because everybody be looking at paperwork. Nobody be looking at the mind games. Federal prosecution is not just about proving something happened. It's about controlling the temperature in the room. They control the information. They control the timeline. They control when something drops. They control who knows what and when they know it. That alone messes with people's head, because imagine sitting in a situation where you don't know who said what. You don't know which co-defendant folded. You don't know which conversation happened. You don't know what evidence is real and which is just allegations. That uncertainty is intentional. That's part of how they work, bruh. I take that and add isolation. You remove from your regular life. Routine gone, freedom gone, everything slowed down. All you got is time. And time and confinement don't move like time on the streets. Time stretches, thought stretch, doubt stretches. That's why federal cases drag. It ain't accidental. It's pressure by duration. Just sitting long enough watching the government build their story in front of you. That weighs on dudes, bruh. Not everybody built to sit like that there. Some get restless, some get anxious, some get desperate, and desperation leads to decisions. That's where the system gets its leverage. It don't gotta scream, it don't gotta threaten, it just wait. Because the longer it waits, the more likely somebody moves first. Here's the part that really matters in Big U's situation. When somebody publicly chooses trial, they're essentially telling the government, I'm not cooperating. That changes the posture on both sides. Now it ain't quiet negotiation no more. Now it's preparation, agents tightening reports, prosecutors refining arguments, witnesses lists being solidified, every piece being lined up out for the internet for court. And that's the part people keep missing. This whole thing don't end in a blog post. It ends in the courtroom. The narrative gets tested, where witnesses get cross-examined, where evidence either stands or collapses. And until that happens, everything you seeing by the feds being done is positioning. Nothing final, nothing decided. That's just how they be moving. Now let's address the other reckless shit floating around online, labeling people as snitches, throwing hot jacket accusations without paperwork, without testimony, without confirmed cooperation. That shit right there dangerous, because federal cases move in phases, and what looks like something today might not look the same 6 months from now. That's why dudes who know the rules wait. They don't rush to stamp somebody a snitch based on speculation. They understand the system is layered, complex, built on timing. And speaking of timing, sometimes what look like strength is just patience. You don't know what is what until it all play out. That's why loud opinions during an active federal case usually age badly, because nobody on the outside has full visibility. Nobody, not bloggers, not YouTube commentators like myself, not people in the comment section. The only ones with the full picture are inside that courtroom process. And I don't even mean just showing up for hearings. I mean really involved. And that process is deliberate, measured, structured. It don't care about narrative. It don't care about trending topics. It moves how it was designed to move, slow, calculated, controlled. And the last thing I'm going to say about this whole situation is this here. Federal prosecution is built to win, not to entertain, not to debate online, to win. And the way it wins most times is not through courtroom showdowns. It wins through pressure before trial ever happens, through patience, through leverage, through people making decisions under weight. But when you watching this play out with Big U, understand one thing. You not watching chaos. You watching the federal system do what it was built to do. Apply pressure, wait, adjust, apply more pressure, wait again, and see who move first. That's the long game. That's the real mechanics, not rumors, not guessing, not fake fantasy federal law degrees or some of these dudes be talking on YouTube. It's a process that's been operating the same way for decades, and until the verdict stage arrives, everything else is just pieces shifting on the board. Nothing more, nothing less.
Shit.
Got your ass.
Shout out to my guy, man. 504 Street Stories and Worldwide Gangster News. Y'all go on over there. Make sure y'all sub to my guy, man. Salute to him. Go ahead, break down your final, what you call it, and we gonna get up out of here. Southern Force and Fan West. It's on y'all.
Let me get it together, man. I had to roll up this Rat Pack right quick.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Fan West. You wanna give your conclusion, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm just I agree with what the 504 dude saying. Like niggas just speaking on Big U case, open case, just talking and acting like they lawyers and all this other shit is just it's disgusting. This man fighting for his life. You see like all this shit that niggas is parading around this goofy ass nigga Wack100 and his minis, and this nigga is just take upon himself to destroy this man. You know what I'm saying? He knew this nigga for over almost 20 years, and then now he want to destroy him over the fact that he found out that he's a rat. And backed off the nigga. I mean that's just despicable. But yeah, man, keep our foot on this clown ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna end it on that. Pretty much.
Salute. I agree wholeheartedly, man.
Three fingers whack. What can the fuck I say? All you niggas are cowards. All you niggas are scared. Y'all line a good person up because you guys can't face your fucking fear. And that's the real fucking thing. All y'all some fucking cowards. All y'all to me are confidential sources because y'all do like what's that word? What's that verbiage called? Deuce? Open source intel.
Yeah.
Shit, it's like Rat100 is the leader, and the rest of these old lame ass niggas are Padawans. This shit don't make no motherfucking sense. To think that they run around like some Negro Perry Maces and shit, going on live, talking like they finna prosecute Big U is nasty fucking work, man. I'm sick of these lame ass, no motion ass, rat ass niggas always fuck around trying to bring somebody of importance down, and it's time to expose the fucking exposers.
That's what
I'm
they
laying
do.
That. Marsupials, man, niggas for real though.
Real rat weasels to the heart.
It used to be a popular movie back in the day, a popular cartoon movie, animated movie, and it was just a bunch of rats, underground rats.
Pinky and the Brain.
Nah. Like, it was like it was real. It was like an old 90s movie, probably 90s cartoon animated movie where the whole movie it was all rats up in that motherfucker, and then one main rat, and you watch that movie, you think of Rat100, and the rest is the rat. You know what I'm saying?
Just who's that? The Littles. Just realized what he said.
It's before that. It's an old. Trust me, if you're 70, nigga, you know it's an old animated movie, man. I mean, these niggas underground rats. The whole fucking shit. Before Ben, remember the movie Ben with just a bunch of rats, just rats, my nigga. Yo.
They say he talking about Ninja Turtles. How you talking about the Ninja Turtles and they turtles? Y'all niggas burn. We out of here though. Hey, salute to Fam West TV. Thanks for coming to support. My bro, Southern Force, always pull up whenever he can. You know, he be getting to that chalupa too. But salute to him and salute to y'all, man. Without y'all, we don't got no show. Y'all make us. Hey, we need somebody to run in that court tomorrow. We sending the 60 bucks. LA Superior Court. Anybody in the land, DM me if you ready to go early in the morning. We got a pickup. Hey, paperwork spilt on Alpha. We call clean up. We out of here. ETE. Damu Kiwe.